Yo, what is going on, gamers, and welcome back to the channel. Hey, in this video, we're going to be highlighting Ghost Recon Breakpoint. And I'm going to let you know everything you need to know about what to expect in this game and how to get cranking in it. Because this game is actually available right now on PC, Xbox One, and PS4. And shout out to Ubisoft for sponsoring this video. And you guys know I've not done any sponsored content for anybody this year except this. Why? Because I was gonna play it anyways. Don't tell Ubisoft that. So but anyways, shout out to them for sponsoring it. Let's get cranking. First thing you're gonna want to know about this game is that it is a tactical shooter. So you're not like some freaking superhero out there with superpowers that you can take on just hordes of people at a single moment. That's not what this game's about. In fact, as the name of the series suggests, Recon, right? It's a tactical shooter. So you're gonna be almost playing this chess game where you discover locations and you kind of figure out the layout and where enemies are located and plan your attack and even coordinate with other people, because there is co-op in this game. It's a great game to play with your friends. In fact, I've already had a couple of great co-op sessions with some buddies of mine, and they can drop right in and right out. It's super easy. And yeah, so you plan your attack and you execute it, and that's really what this game is all about. So as you get cranking pretty early in the game, you're going to be able to select a skill specialization. There's a field medic, which focuses on survivability. There's the assault, which focuses basically on being a tank. There's the panther, which is my preferred way to play, which is this guerrilla style in and out sort of combat ability. And then there's the sharpshooter for people who like ranged stealth. Like I said, I went with the panther skill because I just find it to be really fun and really useful to really insert myself into hectic situations and then find creative ways of getting out of it when I need to. And with the panther ability, you throw down this like smoke grenade that conceals your movement, and you can reposition to somewhere else on the battlefield, or even sometimes, hey, I meandered into zones I shouldn't have been in. I was way too low level and everything in there was just gonna mess me up. And when I got discovered, I basically hightailed it back to the chopper and threw down that smoke grenade so I could get in the seat and fly away and narrowly escape my certain death. So, speaking of getting hunted down, hey, this game has this really cool mechanic. It's like a manhunt, right? Like you are super wanted in this huge free roam area that you're in this game, and these search parties are out there looking for you, and they'll use helicopters will be flying over, planes will be flying overhead, drones will be patrolling the low sky area. You'll have vehicles patrolling the roads, all looking out for you, and you really don't want to be spotted. So the best thing you do is just keep your awareness up, don't space out, use your ears to hear when these things are approaching, choppers, planes, drones, and use your HUD. There's like an alert that lets you know when you are in danger of being spotted. Hey, you just hit the deck. You can go prone, and then in certain environments when you are prone, you can actually like camouflage yourself in the mud or in the dirt, in the grass, whatever it may be, so that you won't be spotted. And I found out the hard way not to underestimate these patrols. You know, I'm typically a pretty run and gunner style of player in games like this, so I just throw caution to the wind. I learned my lesson because there was a time I was on like this side quest, some faction mission I was on, and as I was trying to knock it out, I got spotted by these drones, right? And they called in this like manhunt on me, and next thing I know, there's these dudes in like heavy metal armor slow walking through the forest at me like freaking Jason, you know what I'm saying? And I about crapped myself. I took a few shots at him, and like one stray bullet hits me, and my health is critical. I'm like, holy cow, these guys hurt. And so I had to like hoof it. I turned tail and ran, and I ran for like, I don't know, it was several minutes, and I thought I've got to be in the clear by now. But I stop and heal myself up a little bit, get my bearings, and I look up, and sure enough, here they come, just slow walking through the woods. Several minutes later, start lighting me up again. It was like a 10 to 15 minute chase that ended with me stuck in a ravine. I fell into a ravine, and they're up on the two opposite sides of the ravine, just shoot like I'm a fish in a barrel, and absolutely destroyed me. It is a good idea to try and avoid those at all costs. So you're going to be able to take on opponents like that when you raise your gear score in the game. Now your gear score is similar to like a divisions system. Every piece of gear that you get, you know, armor, weapons, and you're gonna get all kinds of and you're gonna get all kinds of stuff for your gear sets in this game. You know, guns, attachments, helmets, and chest pieces, and shoes, and you know, whatever it may be. All of these things have a gear score attributed to them, and they all sort of average out to a gear score that's attributed to you. And different missions and enemies and different things all have their own gear score that you need to be in order to take them out. So I can't like effectively take on something that is, you know, gear score 150 when I'm 30, and I learned that the hard way as well. So you gotta, as you're playing the game, you're cycling all these pieces of gear and guns in and out of your loadout, which I think is a fantastic way to help people really experience different playstyles in the game, because it's really easy for people to fall into a rut and be like, I like SMGs and snipers, so that I only use SMGs and snipers. But what do you do when you get to a point where it's like you've got to use something that is the appropriate power level, but you don't have an SMG or a sniper that you know has a high gear score, but you got this shotgun, and you're like, well, I guess I'm gonna use this shotgun. Then 5 minutes later, you're like, holy cow, I guess I like shotguns. Like, it's a good way to just mix up your playstyle and experience different ways of playing the game, different ways of approaching engagements. One other feature that you have in the game is you have a drone, and this is super useful. It's a really interesting mechanic, and it's something that really does add to the charm of the game. But the drone is just deployable. You pull it out, you throw it up in the sky, and then it's remotely controlled. You fly it around, and the game just has all kinds of compounds and facilities, and all kinds of strongholds where enemies are bunched up, and civilians too. So you use the drone once you pull up to a new location, right? You whip out the drone, you fly it around, and you can mark, you know, the whole layout of the facility, so you don't get lost when you're running in there. When you get into the heat of combat, you can have your bearings, have a plan, know where you're going to attack, when you're going to attack, how you're going to get out, and escape routes if you need them. You can mark things like where are the sniper towers, and where are the patrols, what are their routes, where are the civilians, where do I need to avoid you know, shooting and gunning people down as well. And you can even locate like the captains as well. They're sort of marked, so it lets you know what kind of an enemy they are. So you plan your attack, and that's sort of the charm of it, is really just coming up with a plan, and then the satisfaction you get when you see that plan through. Or sometimes when your plan just goes to crap, right? And that's fun too. You spend all this time making a plan, things go incredibly poorly, you don't execute it, or you fail to take into account a certain factor, and your plan goes out the window, right? And it's just fun. So I tend to start on the outsides and spiral my way in. I would start with all the sniper towers, pick them off, and you know, you just start clearing buildings one at a time. You see a guy trying to take a break and eat his lunch, you pop him in the dome, you move on. Like, it's really, really fun just making a plan and executing it. And the drone is such a cool, it's a really unique thing to the series, and it's part of what gives it its charm. It's sort of like this chess match, you know, where you're planning out your attacks and seeing them through. It's a lot of fun. I really, really enjoy it. And as you're playing the game, you are going to unlock brand new skills, and you really refine the way that you approach your engagements, the way that you play the game. I ended up, for example, I got this perk that makes it so that it's really like run and gunner. It paired really well with the Panther build that I was using, and makes it so that when you get a shotgun kill, it's going to give you health regeneration and damage resistance as well for a short amount of time. So you can just sort of run and gun, and you're just trying to survive till your next kill. Get some healing off, get some damage resistance, and chain kills together. And then if you need to, eventually you throw down that Panther smoke and you get out of dodge. It's just a super fun way to play the game. So you can refine the way you play as you level up, invest in new skills, and you can be tanky. You can be a real tanky, just running kind of a person. You can be a sharpshooter. You can focus on crafting things and doing traps and explosives. You could focus on stealth. You can focus on survivability. It's just all kinds of different ways that you can tool yourself to have a unique play style. You could also indulge your sadistic side if you so choose. And, vehicular manslaughter is always an option, but be careful in the vehicles, because you may find yourself driving up a tree and flipping a vehicle or catching on fire and have to walk away from an explosion. I'm just saying. There's plenty of different ways to get around the map as well. You can fast travel back to the home base if you just need to turn in a quest or pick something up or talk to an NPC or queue up some PvP. Or you could take to the skies in a chopper and get from point A to point B very, very quickly and see this big, beautiful world they created. Just note that when you do take to the skies, you sometimes miss out on cool things you could find on the ground. So you could also take a vehicle, a jeep, a motorcycle, dirt bike. You could take a boat, or you could decide to hoof it and find some collectibles and crafting ingredients along the way. Well, that's about it. I hope that you enjoyed the video and hopefully enjoyed the gameplay. Maybe this game wasn't on your radar and now it is, or maybe you were sort of on the fence about it and now this has helped you get some insight into how the game plays so you can make an educated decision about whether it's a good fit for you. But either way, thanks for watching the video. Thanks again Ubisoft for sponsoring the video, and feel free to check out links in the description to purchase or download it. Alright, well, hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Be warm and well fed, my friends. Bye-bye.